Hey, we're leaving Cuba, New Mexico. We've kidnapped the Canadians, who have been informed are very nice and not mean. They're coming with us, whether they know it or not, into some place that we don't even know whether it's going to work. They closed this old route of the CDT a few years ago because about 17 people got mauled by pit bulls, I presume. But we're not going to let that happen. This is the mountains that we have to go to. Different way than normal. I think it's going to work. The reason we're going this way actually is because Clover had a friend, oddly enough, who was driving through Cuba, of all places. So we went to get coffee with him on the far north outskirts of town. It just didn't make sense to backtrack and do this giant horseshoe. So we're just looking at the topo maps and hoping this works. What are you guys doing? Gathering evidence here for the authorities, if we ever so choose to tell them about any discrepancies on your visas.
All right, repeat after me. I'm sorry, officer. I didn't know I couldn't do that.
I haven't. We've told them to say, I have a gun, if any authority stops them.
You'll be treated nicely.
Yeah. This is the third time I found an arrowhead laying in the middle of the road on the CDT, actually. I'm gonna set it back down here in a second, but still, it's crazy how rich this trail is with artifacts. Found some other pottery at times too. Information. No information. Eat shit. This is nice. Real water. This is actually the first nice looking water I think I've seen on the entire trail. And we're not even on the trail. And just as we expected, since we're not on the CDT anymore, this trail hasn't been maintained in years. There's gonna be a bunch of deadfalls, I'm sure. Voltaire here found a giant elk antler. It's pretty fresh. We just Clover and I both stepped by. Pretty big. I think it's huge.
Heavy, man.
Yeah, if only we weren't hiking so far, we'd probably carry this with us because it's cool. Sure. Yeah. I'm not usually a trinket guy, but I wanted this, so when friends come to visit in a week, I think I'm going to give it back with them. I'm going to try to carry this antler until Chama, at least. We'll see. There's a pretty good chance I try to sit down without remembering this is on my back and jam it through my rectum or something.
Beautiful.
Reminds me of old logs from the past, but the hike going up and down the meadows. It's like exactly like that. It's like finally going into the high mountains.
Classic post holing. Got 100 miles to go before we get our snow gear. Better not have too much of this. You got some bear prints too. They're a little old, but here are the elk. Possibly the same two we saw in the forest earlier, an hour or two ago. Spooked them. They're way out down this meadow. Everybody else is over here. The viewing party. What a transition from before Cuba to after. It's like Clover just said, hoodoos to alpine meadows in a matter of 10 miles. There's a completely different environment here. We're quickly learning that the next few weeks are probably going to be alternating between post-holing and just walking through bogs. The nice thing about the Sierra, the PCT, was that because everything was so steep, the water collected into like a channel. And it does not do that here. All right, it's finally nice out, so I can camp with both my doors on my tent open. The Canadians are over there, probably impossible to see, so is Clover. I, use all parts of the buffalo, so here we have the antler as a sock and gator drying rack. Pretty cool stuff. We'll see you in the morning. All right. Clover's already gone, but I slept in a little bit. Really gotta say this drying rack is something. It's probably worth the 20 pounds to carry, because my socks are perfectly dry already. Might need to take one of these on every hike. So we're really planning on going slow the next few days because we're kind of waiting out a little bit of the snow north of here. And there's about 15 of us that have talked about getting an Airbnb in Santa Fe for a couple days just to kill time. But that won't start for another 2 or 3 days, which is only like 37 miles from here. So we got a lot of time to kill. Not even a trail here anymore. It feels bad walking on this nice grass. We're starting to see some of our first aspen forests too, which the interesting thing about them is they're clonal colony trees, meaning they'll shoot up other stalks or other trunks around the area they're in, and a lot of the ones in one area are clones of one another. So they're actually possibly the largest single trees on Earth, and some of the oldest too. One of the oldest they know of is in southern Utah. I think it's called Pando, and I think it takes up like hundreds of acres, and it's about 14,000 years old. But just seeing the aspens kind of reminds me that we're really finally going into the Rocky Mountains. This is the smoothest and flattest trail I've seen so far. Very soft, just perfectly flat open pine forest. What do you think he's doing? One of the first times I see you today, and you guess what you're doing?
Hello. I'm hiking.
Nobody can see you wave. I'm zoomed in on your face very awkwardly.
Oh, that's cool.
Waiting for the smoke to come out of your mouth that you're trying to hide.
I'm breathing normal. I didn't inhale.
What is this thing?
No idea.
This color is so unnatural.
I've never seen a yellow like this except for on leaves.
Yeah, it's like some sort of metamorphic rock, it seems. So flat. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, weird. Alright, well, trail goes this way.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You have the creepiest look on your face.
Now that's really the San Juans. A mountain in southern Colorado, certainly. Still covered in a lot of snow. Really haven't filmed much today because nothing really has happened, and it's basically just been an entire day of walking through pine forest like this. It's pretty nondescript after having said everything I said earlier. Yeah, it'll probably be pushed in with some other videos over the next few days, I would assume. Actually, it's a pretty good view here, just as I said it wouldn't be otherwise. We're coming down through a burned area, and you can kind of see these mountains and cliffs on the other side of the canyon through the trees. Those are pretty sizable too. We're probably going to go up on that rim in the next couple days and walk on that side. It is 7:30 a.m. We're rushing. We're going to try to get to Santa Fe on some bus that comes up to this road. I've been not videotaping much, but there hasn't been much going on. We're going to walk through this burned area for the next 4 miles and then see what we see. So as I said, we're trying to make it to this road early enough to catch a bus into Santa Fe, so we're in a little bit of a rush.
Careful.
I don't be careful. Cameraman never dies, right? Voltaire here was quick to point out that if I would have tripped backwards, I would have had an antler at my ass, which I did not think about at that moment. So he was right. So I was trying to get all the way across New Mexico without getting in a car, which I've succeeded in doing up to this point, but we've got a little bit of time to kill, and you know, the like dozen people that I know are all going to Santa Fe, so we're going with them, and there's not really a way around it. So we have to take a bus there, and to get to the bus stop right now, we're gonna have to hitchhike. Well, obviously hitchhike back to where we got off the trail whenever we're done in Santa Fe, but you know, I got like 95% of the way across the state without getting in a car, so I think that's pretty good. Just for a little bit of background info, most of these through hikes don't actually go through towns very often, so to get food, you still need to hitchhike from where the trail crosses the road and then back there. But oddly enough, the CDT in New Mexico goes through the center of towns almost every, 5 days or so. So I just thought it was like an interesting opportunity to cross an entire state without getting in a car, which, like I said, I have not been in a vehicle since I drove myself to the border on April 10th. I did actually fix up one of the bikes in the toaster house in Pie Town and rode it around to get groceries and stuff, but other than that, I've been on foot. Perfect. So this is the Rio Chama, which may be about the biggest body of water we'll see on the entire trail. For some reason, we thought this would be a paved road, and it's not. So I think our prospects for hitching are a lot lower. 9 miles. This is a very pretty road walk, though. There are elk like in the river
Whoa!
trying to cross. One of them got across.
Those are mildews.
Yeah.
Oh, I got across.
There's one further down. Oh yeah.
Damn, son. They make us look like pussies.
Yeah.
You think just fucking got in there? It drifted down like what, 50 feet?
I did a terrible job recording that,
Yeah, well.
but
You've not been in Santa Fe before?
I've not, but no.
I have. I'm the only one who has.
You can easily spend some downtime there.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a little expensive, but
We need to go to, a couple of us need to go to like the outfitters and stuff too, so it's kind of convenient.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a bunch of them are renting an Airbnb, the other hikers that.
So here we are, the gang has made it to Santa Fe. We've survived the massive outbreak of drug addicts on the bus on the way in here.
Right now, Mario is trying to explain what a sex theater is in Montreal. I still don't know what it is.
we used to have that.
Yeah,
Like-
some woman was trying to drug
was
me
a
on the bus
theater,
too. She was trying to give me some kind of Narcan or something.
She wanted to join you in your room.
Yeah.
Now
This is like a
yeah,
50-year-old
mountain
woman who is nodding off on the bus. Anyways, here we are, the big city, Santa Fe.